Whew, good thing that it's casual round 8. Now joining me is Luke.
Yeah, I felt like I needed to embrace the casual round 8. I mean, the shirt's undone, the tie's just, I don't know what's going on there.
And it's a good thing I'm not wearing a jacket because I have to run back and forth with the interview area and this area.
Yeah.
So it's serving us well once again, the casual round 8.
Yeah.
Okay, what a game it has been.
That was just crazy.
And it went back and forth and back and forth. It was very hard to keep track, to be honest, at least for me.
Yeah, we were trying to keep track
of the highlights.
The highlights, yeah, because we were like, so wait a minute, who's got all the cards?
Yeah,
and things like that. We actually had we had a really good metaphor going outside about what was going on in this game. We felt like it was kind of like a game of chess where every now and again one of the players just went, oh, do you know what? I'm just gonna, let's just start again. Let's just start the whole game again. I'm going to play Triver, I'm going to start the whole game again, but bring all these cards back to my hand. But you start with one less piece on the board this time. And that just kept happening right up until the point where both players didn't have a lot of pieces on the board.
Right.
It was quite interesting.
All right. Let's delve right into it with our first highlight. And here we have the one card that only Chris was playing, the Mind Crush.
Yeah, so Bujin Tsukiyomi straight away, and he figures he needs to get rid of that last card in his hand, so he plays Mind Crush. I don't think at this point he realizes what the field spell is, because otherwise he probably wouldn't have bothered to play Mind Crush there. So yeah, we can get straight on to one of the first big Triver returns with highlight number 2.
All right.
So here we see Triver being played, and there are so many cards on the field. Both players.
You can see on the app on the right-hand side.
Exactly.
Yeah, yesterday when we tested out the app, we had this with so many cards on the right-hand side, and we were saying, well, this is never going to happen. And here we are.
Here we are, exactly, yeah. So
right.
as we could see, that was just, again, one of those resets. Everyone was just like, oh, well, I've got an established board, so have you. But let's just start again.
Who is gaining the upper hand when this Triver return happens?
Yeah, so most people will jump straight away to the conclusion of, oh, it's whoever who has the Triver, because you can take a card from their hand. But it's generally whoever's got the most face-up continuous trap cards as well. You got to take that into account, because if your opponent has like 3 or 4 continuous spell trap cards that have been used up already, like a Fiendish Chain, Call of the Haunted, and they get to use those again, it doesn't really matter if they take a card out of their hand.
So do you agree with the timing of the Triver returns?
Yeah, I think that they were all very well timed, which is what made it such a back and forwards game.
Okay.
Because you see later on,
basically in our third highlight, we can see how that advantage that the Triver was gaining for Nicolas was paying out.
Highlight number 3.
So let's bring that on for you guys if you just tuned in. There we go.
Here's another one, and we see that straight away his opponent realizes, yeah, I think this is done, because he's got 3 face-up trap cards here, and he thinks, oh well, I think that's it. He might not have been returning that many like of his monsters and stuff, but these trap cards straight away just get set back down and used next turn.
Yeah.
Also, the fact that he was using Oracle of Zephyr, he could just keep playing that and searching out his Satellar Zephyr monsters.
Something he just pointed out in the interview post game, that it really helps the Tellarknight deck to be even more grindy than it already is.
Yeah.
Because you can just special summon everything back.
Yeah. You just keep getting more stuff. Whatever that is, it doesn't matter. You just
so very good start for Nicolas Petz in the first game.
Yeah.
Let's take you to the second game with our highlight number 4.
Yeah.
And this is where we were debating whether you want to use Solemn Warning on the ice hand and
I felt like he should have played Solemn Warning on the fire hand initially, but then later on we see him use it to a much greater advantage. So this is where we see
an Abyss Dweller.
Yeah, an Abyss Dweller to deal with this ice hand. And I thought that we'd already seen one Fiendish Chain by the opponent, so it was like, okay, maybe he's got another Fiendish Chain, but he didn't, which very, very diffused the bomb that is the fire and ice hands.
Right.
Because if you get it right, you can just throw like 3 hands into your opponent, and you've just taken 3 of their cards away for 1 card.
Right. And so Abyss Dweller, a very good decision in that situation. Now, did it seem to you that Nicolas Petz was having all the answers in this match?
Yeah, it did seem like he kind of always knew what to do. It was less that he always had the answers. I feel like he crafted his hand in such a way where he wanted to always have the answers that he had. It wasn't necessarily, oh, I drew a preparation of rights or something. It's not something crazy like that. It was always that he was being really careful with using his exceed plays.
But even so, Nicolas Petz was not able to 2-0 his opponent. Let's take it to highlight number 5, which was...
Yeah, this was one of my favorite highlights. I love the fact that we actually see Nicolas just slowly placing his Deneb on the field, and Chris just goes, "Oh, excuse me, can you just take this flying C as well?" And it's just so, it was so dainty how he just kind of went, "Oh, here you go, have that as well." and
that proved key, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, of course. So he couldn't make an exceed play, which we see later on. He was going to use the likes of Deltaros or another Triver again to just try and close the game out really quickly, but you know, that flying C really made the difference.
All right. So 1-1 between Chris Bountaloudis, the European champion of 2013, 2 years ago, who's now out of competition, and Nicolas Petz. And let's take you to game 3 with our highlight number 6.
Yeah. So this is the first time we see a monster that isn't Triver being played when a triple exceed summon comes out. And the moment he hits the field, he has a quick look at his back rows. Chris has a look at his back rows and thinks, right, I've got a Fiendish Chain to deal with this. Now, even though he did Fiendish Chain Deltaros, that's still like taking away one of your opponent's back rows.
Right.
Because it's using it up. The only difference is if you Triver, then you return that to the hand rather than it being destroyed. And a little bit further down the line with highlight number 7, we see this exact same Deltaros much further down the line, finally being
free
given
again.
Some freedom.
Yeah.
So he was able to Space Typhoon the Fiendish Chain that was locking down the Deltaros.
So
and then
Deltaros really the difference maker in that third game.
Yeah, because he managed to destroy the Fiendish Chain, which, again, all these face-up trap cards would have been bounced with a Triver play. So he destroyed the Fiendish Chain and then immediately used Deltaros' effect to destroy another one of the back rows.
All right. And we got one more highlight for you guys. That is highlight number 8. And
this is where we see the final monster of the game, and we see Nicolas just flip over
breakthrough
the skill.
And
there's the handshake.
Forcing the handshake of the former European champion, Chris Bountaloudis, knocking him out of competition. But Greece has a couple of other players still in competition. Before we take a look at the country breakdown, we got the deck breakdown for you guys. So let's bring that